Let's start with something most people won't tell you: you are not tired because you're doing too much. You're tired because you're doing too much of the wrong things. You're exhausted not because life is demanding, but because your focus is scattered across 1,000 meaningless tasks, distractions, and obligations that pull you further from who you're meant to be. Every day, you're told to hustle harder, grind longer, say yes to more, and keep up with a world that's addicted to noise. But here's the brutal truth no one wants to face: activity without clarity is the slowest form of self-destruction. You can spend a lifetime being busy and still wake up one day realizing you've gone nowhere. Why? Because distraction is a thief dressed as productivity. You're lured by notifications, seduced by trends, hypnotized by the need to keep up. And all the while, your dreams wait quietly in the background, gathering dust. This is not just about time management, this is about life management. This is about reclaiming control over your mind, your energy, and your future. Because until you do, life will keep slipping through your fingers. Not in dramatic failures, but in quiet, invisible thefts: 5 minutes here, an hour there, a day lost to things that don't matter. One day you'll look back and realize that what cost you your potential wasn't a lack of opportunity, it was a lack of focus. The world doesn't need another busy person. It needs people who are awake, intentional, and brave enough to stop chasing everything and start building something real. The question is, are you ready to stop running in circles and finally take control of where your life is going? Have you ever wondered why it feels almost impossible to sit in silence? Why your hand reaches for your phone the moment there's a gap in conversation, a pause in your day, or even a quiet moment alone? This isn't a personal flaw. It's by design. You are living in a world engineered to steal your attention. Social media, endless notifications, breaking news, trends, gossip, these aren't just distractions. They're dopamine loops created to keep your brain addicted to stimulation. Every swipe, every like, every ping triggers a hit of dopamine, giving you a fleeting rush of satisfaction. But here's the catch: the more you indulge, the weaker your ability to focus becomes. Neuroscience is clear on this. Your brain rewires itself around what you repeatedly do. Constant distraction leads to chronic anxiety, fragmented thinking, and an inability to sustain effort on what truly matters. Over time, this doesn't just affect your productivity, it sabotages your potential. You start confusing movement with progress, reaction with purpose, busyness with success. You end up tired, drained, and wondering why, despite all your effort, you're still stuck. The truth? Distraction is a silent killer of dreams. It robs you not with violence, but with subtlety. Minutes lost become hours wasted. Hours wasted become years you can't get back. Meanwhile, your goals, your health, your purpose, your legacy, wither from neglect. This is not just about reclaiming your time, it's about reclaiming your life. If you want to break free, you must first understand this: the battle for your future is fought in the trenches of your daily attention. Master your focus, and you reclaim your power. Lose it, and you lose everything. The choice is yours, but the clock is ticking. Most people don't realize how dangerous distraction really is because it doesn't feel destructive in the moment. It feels harmless. Checking your phone one more time. Watching just one more video. Delaying that important task until tomorrow. But what seems small adds up faster than you think. A distracted life isn't lived in catastrophic failures, it's lived in tiny decisions that bleed your time, your focus, and eventually, your potential. Day by day, hour by hour, you trade your future for short-term stimulation. And the scariest part? You won't notice the damage until it's already too late. Years will pass. Dreams will fade. Your energy will be spent, but you won't be any closer to the life you wanted. Not because you didn't have talent. Not because you didn't have opportunity. But because you gave your attention to things that didn't deserve it. Distraction isn't just a waste of time, it's a waste of self. It keeps you reactive, not proactive. It feeds insecurity, comparison, and fear. It keeps your mind cluttered so your purpose stays buried. When you don't control your focus, the world controls it for you. Advertisers, influencers, algorithms, they are all competing to hijack your attention because attention is the new currency. But what they steal from you is priceless: clarity, peace, progress, and purpose. The price of distraction is not measured in wasted minutes but in wasted potential. You were not born to scroll through life. You were born to shape it. To create, to lead, to contribute something meaningful. But none of that is possible until you confront this truth: every moment you give to the meaningless is a moment stolen from what could have made you great. The clock isn't your enemy. Distraction is. Here's something society won't tell you: success isn't about how much you do, it's about how clear you are on what truly matters. The world glorifies being busy. It celebrates the hustle, the grind, the overloaded schedule as if exhaustion were a badge of honor. But there's a brutal truth beneath all the noise: scattered effort leads to scattered results. You cannot build anything meaningful, not a career, not a relationship, not a legacy, if your energy is divided 100 different ways. Your life only starts to change when you understand the power of focused attention. Greatness doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing less, but doing it better, deeper, with full commitment. Look at any successful person, athlete, entrepreneur, artist. They are not masters of many things. They are fiercely devoted to mastering the one thing that matters most to their mission. They eliminate distractions, they say no more often than they say yes, and they protect their time like it's sacred, because it is. You can't chase every opportunity, follow every trend, or please every voice and still expect to build something of substance. The people who achieve extraordinary results understand this: simplicity is strength. Clarity is power. Focus is freedom. If you want to create something that lasts, you must become ruthless with your time, intentional with your energy, and crystal clear about your priorities. This isn't about being rigid, it's about being deliberate. It's about recognizing that every yes to the wrong thing is a no to your purpose. If you're tired of feeling like you're moving but going nowhere, this is your wake-up call. Focus isn't a luxury. It's a requirement for anyone who's serious about living a life that matters. If there's one habit that can radically transform your life, it's this: the ruthless elimination of anything that doesn't serve your highest purpose. This isn't about minimalism for the sake of aesthetics. This is about survival, the survival of your focus, your potential, and your future. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every meaningful legacy begins with subtraction, not addition. Yet most people live their lives trying to juggle more commitments, more responsibilities, more distractions, more noise. The problem isn't that you don't have enough time. The problem is you're giving too much of it away to things that don't move you forward. You need to start cutting. Cut the mindless scrolling. Cut the empty conversations. Cut the obligations rooted in guilt, not growth. Cut the people who drain your energy instead of fueling your purpose. This is how you reclaim your power. It's not easy, but it's necessary. Because every yes you say out of fear or habit robs you of the focus you need to say yes to what truly matters. This is why elimination isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. Audit your day: what pulled you off course? Audit your week: what drained you without return? Audit your month: where did your time go, and what did you get for it? Without this discipline, your future gets written by default, not design. Ruthless elimination isn't about becoming cold or selfish. It's about becoming clear. It's about recognizing that your dreams require space to grow, and clutter, whether digital, emotional, or relational, chokes that space. The clearer your environment, the clearer your mind. And the clearer your mind, the greater your results. Focused lives are built, not found. And they are built through elimination, not accumulation. The people who achieve extraordinary things in life aren't necessarily more talented than you. They aren't luckier, and they don't have more hours in the day. What they have is focus, and more importantly, they apply that focus through small, relentless actions, every single day. Success isn't built in grand gestures or dramatic moments. It's forged in the quiet, ordinary, often unnoticed decisions you make when no one is watching. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep. It's reading the book instead of scrolling through your feed. It's writing the paragraph, recording the video, making the uncomfortable phone call. Small actions, repeated daily, are what create unstoppable momentum. This is not about perfection, it's about consistency. Neuroscience shows us that habits shape identity. The more you show up for yourself, the more you reinforce the belief that you are someone who follows through, someone who honors their commitments. Action compounds. Each step forward, no matter how small, becomes easier because momentum breeds clarity and confidence. Waiting for motivation is a trap. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. You move first, the clarity follows. You act, and the path reveals itself. If you want to be exceptional, you don't need to do more. You need to do what matters, consistently, without apology or excuse. Set your priorities. Protect them. Show up for them, daily. This is the discipline that separates the dreamers from the builders, the overwhelmed from the focused, the stagnant from the unstoppable. Build your days around your priorities, not your distractions. Because the life you want isn't hidden behind some future breakthrough. It's waiting for you in the simple, focused actions you take today, and tomorrow, and the next day, without fail. At some point, you have to ask yourself, what am I really chasing? Is it money? Recognition? A title? Or is it something deeper, a sense of fulfillment, alignment, and peace that can't be measured in numbers or applause? The truth is, focus isn't just about productivity. It's about identity. It's about becoming the version of yourself you know, deep down, you were always meant to be. Success is hollow if it doesn't bring you closer to your purpose. Wealth means nothing if you're still empty inside. Achievements will never satisfy a restless soul. This is why clarity matters. This is why you must protect your time, your energy, and your focus as if your life depends on it, because it does. The life you crave isn't waiting for you at the end of some endless hustle. It's waiting for you on the other side of ruthless focus, intentional living, and disciplined action. When you strip away the noise, the distractions, the expectations of others, you make space for the real work, becoming. Becoming the person who no longer bends to distraction. Becoming the person who no longer needs validation. Becoming the person who no longer fears being misunderstood. The person who is no longer scattered but aligned, no longer reactive but deliberate, no longer overwhelmed but intentional. This isn't about doing more. It's about being more. More present. More courageous. More grounded in your values and less pulled by the world's chaos. Because when you focus on what matters, you don't just succeed, you evolve. You grow into the kind of person who leaves a legacy, not because you tried to impress anyone, but because you lived in alignment with what truly mattered. That is the real reward of focus. There comes a moment in every person's life when they realize no one is coming to rescue them. No opportunity will magically appear. No secret formula exists. If you want to change your life, you have to change how you show up for it. That's the brutal truth. And for most people, that moment either passes unnoticed or gets buried under more distractions. But for you, this moment can be different. Because now you understand, focus isn't a technique. It's a lifestyle. It's a commitment to live with clarity, to honor your time, to protect your energy, and to move with purpose, even when the world pulls you in 100 directions. Distraction will always be waiting. Fear will always whisper. Noise will always compete for your attention. But so what? Greatness was never meant for the easily distracted. The life you want doesn't require more hacks or more hours. It requires a decision. The decision to stop scattering yourself across meaningless tasks. The decision to stop giving away your time to people and habits that keep you small. The decision to stop waiting for clarity and start creating it through action. This is your moment to stop living by default and start living by design. To protect what matters. To build what matters. To become who matters, not in the eyes of others, but in the depths of your own soul. Focus is not about sacrificing your life, it's about reclaiming it. It's about stepping into the power you've always had but were too distracted to see. You are not here to blend in. You are here to rise. To build. To lead. And it starts the moment you choose. Choose wisely. Because your future depends on it.